I just realized I'm a sloucher.
How so?
Because I'm slouching. Trev and Rosie, your mic. There we go.
Screen.
Screen was back there.
Is it back now?
Nice. It's back on.
Yes,
I just took its sweet ass time turning it on.
Go figure. That's gonna be one of those nights, right? How is everybody doing tonight? Watching the show. Good evening to you, Jen. Good evening, Rosie and Trev. Congratulations goes out to Rosie and Trev. You guys just got married last week. Congratulations.
Yeah, we did. It was a great day. It went perfect. The whole family came together. It was nice.
You had Jim do the marriage, right?
Yeah, Jim was our officiant. Yeah.
Yeah, he did it. We did it more traditional Celtic style. We got a little bit of sunlight through the day, so we got really good pictures and stuff too.
Your pictures are amazing.
Thank you. Yeah,
they did turn out really well. They're not even all done yet. Those are just kind of a few that we picked out.
Yeah, no, I still have to get with my photographer, and we're gonna do some editing and stuff after the honeymoon. But yeah, I did some moody black and white edits.
Jen, how you been?
I'm good. Good. Just doing the whole grind.
Yeah, how are you, Sid? You chilling?
Annoyed
about what? Tell us.
Okay, well, I told you a little bit. The show I went to last night, it was horrible.
Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold.
That's very depressing and disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not the complete set of Avenged Sevenfold wasn't bad. It was just there's a couple albums that I don't care about from them. The Stage and this Life's But a Dream album, I'm not really a fan of. So I get it. It's the Life's But a Dream tour, but it felt like Life's more like a nightmare tour.
Right, you were saying the lineup or whatever was all funky and weird too. Like
and congratulations for being on the show today too, guys, because you're gonna be tortured with this music. I'm gonna torture you guys like I got tortured last night. So I'm gonna be playing all three fucking bands. Well, you won't be annoyed with Avenged Sevenfold, but you will be if you don't want to hammer a nail into your eyelids or into your eardrums. I'll be shocked.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of the dubstep stuff, so yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the dubstep. I wasn't. Look, it's my fault partially because I didn't do my research on the opening acts. I just assumed that it's Avenged Sevenfold, so it'd be like heavy or hard rock bands at least.
That would be a fair assumption, yeah.
And I get there, and then there's a big stage on top of the stage, and then there's like a guy with a laptop. And then next thing you know, it turned into dubstep, and everybody's dubstepping, and I'm going, "What the?" I felt like I was living in the Twilight Zone. I was like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And I thought, my sister, she loves that kind of music. She likes that pop dance type of stuff music. So I thought she was going to have the hardest time of all of us going to the show because I thought this is going to be so heavy for her. She's not going to be able to take it. It was me that couldn't take it. It was like they started off with,
you're like, I don't know if I can do this.
And that's what I was like, fuck, man, what is going on here? And so they started, was it Killer Sullivan or Sullivan Killer or something like that? I can't remember the name of me.
Sullivan King.
King Sullivan?
Yeah.
Sullivan King?
Sullivan King. That's it. Sullivan King. And so he came on, and it was just, he had this little laptop, and he played a guitar for a little bit, did a little bit of singing, but it was all behind his computer that all the music was coming from. So it was like him hyping the crowd, and it was dance music. It was like a mix of other songs mixed together. And I was like, fuck, what is this? So I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. My sister's standing up. She's doing her little dance. She's doing her little dance. She's digging Killer Sullivan King. She's digging it. I mean, she's like, oh yeah.
You're all standing there looking around.
I'm like, all right, that's fine. That's fine. What I'll do is you sit here and enjoy the show, and I'll go out there and get some fucking shirts from the show. So they have two stands in the whole fucking building that was selling merch. Both were wrapped completely around, touching each other on end to end on the other side of the fucking building. And I was like, fuck. So I guess I'll be standing on this motherfucker 30, 40 fucking minutes waiting for a shirt, which I didn't care because that Sullivan King was playing. I was like, well, I'll just skip all that and I'll just go stand in line.
I'll just be here during that set.
Just come back.
As I did that, I got to thinking to myself, you know what? I am going to drink. So I hit the fucking bar, the handicap bar.
The handicap.
I hit the handicap bar. I was pushing people out of the way that was in wheelchairs and shit just so I can get a drink. I was like, before I go back in there, I'm going to have 3-4 drinks at $15 a shot or a mixed drink. I was slamming them.
Oh my God.
So I go back and Sullivan King was done. And so we had listened to the music that plays as they tear down the set to put the other one up for the other fucking shitty band, Poppy. So I'm sitting there. They started playing like dance music, like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. It was just like dance music, 90s pop or early 2000 pop. I think there was a Britney Spears sprinkled in there as well. And I was like, what?
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck is going on?
That is.
And of course, my sister's right next to me going, I love this show. And I'm going, fuck. This sucks.
I would not have been happy.
Yeah.
That would not have worked for me at all.
And I was sitting there, and so I thought, well, this has just got to be a fluke. This has to be a fluke. Until Poppy came on, and I thought, oh my God, it just gets worse. And it was nothing but I don't even know what you'd call the music. To be fair, electronica. I don't know.
Electric.
I have no idea.
And like little elements of metal
like
in it a little bit.
Metalcore. Like,
does it have metalcore in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't fan friendly at all. She wasn't fan friendly at all. She got up there and it was one song after another song after another song.
Oh no, she doesn't actually talk to people like people.
She doesn't even engage.
Has always acted like a robot. Like that is her whole persona in the industry. Is her ability to be like an Illuminati plant. Like
it's lost her fucking mind. I mean, her back was against us the whole fucking show, and she was just hopping around.
Yeah, no, that's it. She's it was a
weird.
whole plant situation, industry plant situation with her.
Right? Is Avenged Sevenfold doing electronic stuff in their music nowadays? I'm pretty sure I haven't listened to the last album.
Well, I think about every band does some sort of like backing tracks to when they do their live. I mean, every band does it.
Like dubstep and synths, like EDM style stuff or whatnot. No,
I mean, no, they're just putting out shitty music right now.
That's so weird. How do you go from two bands like that and then just transfer right down into, like more classic metal?
And then here comes Poppy doing her jumping around, hopping around. Then Sure Set stops, and then it goes to gangster rap during set teardowns. I was like, they're playing NWA, they're playing fucking Two Live Crew, they're playing
Avenged Sevenfold. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why who the fuck is curating this fucking show, dude? Fucking
That
who put
is
this shit on? It
weird.
was very poorly thought out.
Ice Cube,
Are
and it
they
went
all
from
under
like
Sumerian?
I'm pretty sure
Chris
they're all
Cross gonna make the jump.
Who would
I'm like,
think this
what?
Sumerian would have fucking.
It was absolutely the fucking worst time. One of the worst beginnings of a show that I could imagine. Just was it was confusing. I didn't mind. To be honest, I didn't really mind so much listening to Sullivan King a little bit, but after a while, it kind of gets on your nerves a little bit. So you step out, go get your shirts, get your thing, take a couple of drinks, and then come back in. And then Poppy, for moments, I thought it was going to be good. To be honest, I thought, well, this is kind of catchy. There's some drums, there's some guitar work going on now. This could be all right. Then it goes right back to electronic, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I could see that.
Why?
There's only one song that I like from Sullivan King. I went through his whole discography because I found one really good metal song that he's a part of. But after I did the dive, everything else that you find after that doesn't hit the same way as that one track. So I don't listen to it anymore.
I don't get it. But the Avenged came on. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of their first the last two albums, The Stage or This Life's But a Dream. But when they played their old songs, you enjoyed it at that point because it sounded like Avenged Sevenfold. I didn't think they sounded much like themselves on the stage, and then they definitely don't sound like what they normally do with this new album for me.
Yeah, I don't like the newer stuff.
I like what they put out earlier. Hell the King, fucking We Are the Fallen, City of Evil, Afterlife. Those albums were fucking great, but so they started off the show with one of their songs off the new album, but it was slow, and it had a Spanish guitar playing, and he was playing the Spanish guitar, and then Shadows had like a ski mask going with eyes cut out around his mouth, and he was sitting in a long chair in the middle of the stage. And then they started playing a Spanish guitar, and that's how they opened the show with. You know, you think they would open something a little bit more iconic, like Nightmare. You got that ding, 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 ding. I mean, what a great build up to start the show off with, but no. They come out there looking like fucking Zorro and the gay blade next to him playing Spanish guitar. And I was like, what the fuck? But when they did play the songs that they're known for, it was fun to watch. That was my night last night.
Well, so you at least got a couple good songs.
Shepherd of Fire was good. Their stage setup wasn't really extravagant. It was kind of like just stripped. The whole show felt like it was stripped down. They had some black screens in the back so they can do projection videos in the background of them, but that was it. There was like maybe a couple shots of fire, and that was it. It really wasn't much of a stage show to it at all.
Man, when I saw them, they put on a whole big show.
They came out looking greasy-haired, dirty, like they've been wearing the same clothes for days. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Wow. So where did you see it? What venue did you see it at? Was it like a decent venue?
Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, where the Pacers and shit play. And the NBA plays there. Then you got the Final Four that goes there. The fucking facility, I've never been there before, was beautiful. Just a beautiful facility. Just wasn't so much of a beautiful show, I guess. But lucky for you fuckers, I'm going to torture you guys tonight with some of this music. That's what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, we might as well get one of them over with now. What do you guys think?
I'm curious. Wow. I'm curious to see if this one Sullivan King track is the one that I like. To be fair, one of the pile that I don't.
I don't remember none of the songs that they played last night. I've never seen. There's Denton.
There's Denton.
Yes, you appear to be an hour earlier.
Yes. Yay.
Oh, we're on time change now here. I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah, well, you see, if you don't tell me
daylight savings.
Your part of the world, I don't know, you see, because I only know what goes on here, and half the time I don't even know that.
So, we're on the same page then, Denton. Yes. To be fair, we're on the same page. I forgot all about it. I think you don't change till the end of the month.
Yeah, yes. Funny enough, the link disappeared too on my you sent the link earlier, and this has vanished off my computer as well. I don't know why. Yes, it's the gremlins. That's what it is.
Well, you're lucky you came in when you did, then, because you missed my whole pissing party that I had about the band I went to go see last night.
Oh well.
So you're lucky you missed all my rant.
Oh, well, I can always look at the replay, like you see. I mean, I wouldn't want to miss your rant.
There's Mary Beth having to bring up the most horrid thing I'm going to go through my whole entire life. outside of getting sober and going through all that, this would have to be probably one of the second most traumatic experiences in my life I'm going to have to go up to. Well, since I brought my sister to the show last night, I said, look, if you go with me, I'll go to a concert that you want to pick out. And what did she do? She picked Korean pop.
Korean pop.
Like it's a boy band group, but it's all Koreans.
Oh, it sounds.
It sounds horrible, right?
It's just Korean boy bands.
The band's called Ace, and she sent me a video. The whole time I could feel her giggling through my phone as she's sending me these fucking videos. Like you're a sucker. So yeah, that's my next concert I'm going to, as far as I know, is a K-pop band called Ace.
Well, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
I'm sure he will not.
Yeah,
we'll be right back here talking about it.
Yeah,
yes. And she is going to take video footage of me going to the show, me being probably the only middle-aged man that's going to be inside the whole fucking building, listening to a bunch of teenage Asian girls screaming at a fucking Korean band. And here I am just going, my mouth open like a fucking Hank Hill from King of the Hill or something.
Yes. Have all these teenagers saying, look at him, strange old European guy. Yes. Yeah. But it could be worse. It could be me. I mean, I'm even older.
Then I guarantee you'd probably sound better than what the bands I heard last night.
No, you haven't heard me sing. Anyway,
you haven't heard them either. But you will. The night's still young. And a special treat for you being late, Denton. You know your treat. You know what your prize is for being late? Yes. I'm gonna make you endure the same music I had to endure last night.
Hold on, I have earplugs somewhere here. The mute button. See, I will hit the mute button, but I'll be going, and you'll think I'm listening.
We'll know better now. But we're going to start off tonight with a little bit of music. Then we'll come back. We'll be talking a little bit about friends or foes. Who are we letting in our lives? But until then, enjoy some very delicious, tasty sounding Sullivan King. This is Thrones of Blood. We'll be right back, everybody.
Hey, this is Josie Scott, the original OG lead singer of Saliva, and you are watching Inner Demon Media. Release your inner demons. We all have demons. We just don't try to hide them.
Shouting to ride. It's not a problem, and he's here with his size. They're loaded up and feeling fucking high strung. I'm feeling high strung. I'm feeling high strung. Block by block, we'll rip this city to the ground. Block by block, block by block. You love the frame us like we're all animals. With the making of sound, we fight. Throne and it's covered in blood. I wipe it off with this part of the front. Let me sweep, let it turn to a flood. Yeah, let it turn to a flood. Yeah, this is how they begin. Block by block, we'll rip the blue from the sky. Block by block, block by block. All night long, we'll punch the skeleton in their eyes. Block by block, block by block. You love to frame us like we're all animals. With the making of sound, we fight. You play the fire, homie, glass till we rain. Wash the ashes away, we fight. We're coming after you, 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 we're coming after you. Block by block.
Men, face it, the male menopause is real. You're going to lose your virility someday. How about now? In the time it has taken to listen to this commercial, you're less virile than you were at the start. You've just wasted a whole lot of sperm. The decline has begun. It is time to fight back. As you start to go gray, get saggy, you're being upstaged by young bucks who will seduce your women and take your fortune. They need to know you're still the alpha. They need to know you're top dog and they're still a little pup. However, staying on top isn't just about jacking yourself with testosterone until you're humping the furniture. You'll need to go big. Showtime, who's boss? Do something really impressive and tell everyone about it. Hike Kilimanjaro, dog sled across Siberia, trek across Antarctica, America, raft the Amazon. You need an adventure travel service that can take you to the far reaches of the earth and give you the kind of experience you can boast about back home. Show them what kind of man you really are. A man who is fighting for meaning the only way he knows how, by showing off. It's time to take the Manipause by the throat and strangle the life out of it. Contact Manipause Adventures today or visit manipauseadventures.com.
Manipause Adventures.
Did you make that? Who made,
I made that? Yeah, I did.
Manipause?
Yes.
I Manipause. Yes, I made that up. Actually, you missed it, Denton. Yeah, Manipause. We're both in it, pal.
I see. That's interesting. An interesting term, I must say.
But the actual audio came from a Grand Theft Auto game that they play on the radio. So I took a sample of the Grand Theft Auto game from the radio station and made my own little video with it.
It fit great.
And I'm sure to offend somebody out there.
Well, Denton,
yeah,
what did you think of the music?
That wasn't that bad. I'll tell you right there. That wasn't that bad.
That wasn't bad.
But I didn't hear that at the show.
Oh no.
I didn't hear that song at the show. It was like a dance party. Everybody was just dancing. It was like a dance party. I'm like, yeah, I'm not dancing.
I don't think his discography has a bunch of metal stuff in it too. I'm pretty sure that that's just more recent, maybe 4 tracks or something.
I think this song just came out like 4 months ago, not too long ago. But the other ones, I didn't even look at the other one. I just picked the first latest song because I was like, hell, they're probably all going to sound the same to me. But that didn't sound like what was last night. That was actually pretty good.
I was about to say, if it was a show full of that, then that would have been sick. But if they didn't play anything like that, then that sucks.
You would think that would have been the stuff they would have played.
Yeah.
Given the audience.
Maybe I'm just getting old, and that shit just annoying me. That noise just annoys me.
Those kids and their music.
Yeah.
There was a lot of older folks there. There was probably more older folks there than it was a young crowd, to be fair. I've seen a lot of grays.
That's even more interesting.
So you weren't the only
Lisa
one.
says ears blown and loving it.
Yeah.
Mary Beth says, I'm not going to say shit.
I like that. Yes, I like that.
Good evening, Adam, wherever you are. That might be Adam Krabby. But yeah, that's who I seen last night. That was one of them. That was the opening act. Actually, he actually started the show off. If he would have played that, I've been perfectly fucking fine. But that's
with
not
that
what I heard.
energy, yeah.
That's not what I heard. I mean, I think a lot of it had to do too that when he played, the stadium hasn't started filling up yet. It was like halfway full, and everybody was not into it. Like nobody was moving, nobody was cheering. They were just standing there trying to figure out what the fuck are we watching.
Yeah,
that could have had an effect on it too.
Yeah,
it just seems like such a weirdly curated show.
That does seem weird.
It could be menopause. It could be
Manipause.
Yeah, it could be menopause. So let's talk about tonight's topic: friend or foe. Who are we letting in our lives? Jen, do you have any friends?
Not many. And the one friend that I do have that's a true friend, she her husband got transferred, so they moved away to first it was Wyoming, I think, and then Nevada, but now they're back in Oklahoma. So that's good. She's the one person that I trust implicitly. But other than that one person, not a lot of friends. Not really.
Have you been guilty of letting the wrong people in?
Entirely. I don't have I have better judgment with friends than I do relationships because I don't have good judgment when it comes to guys, but I have definitely been guilty of getting burned when it comes to letting people in my life. For sure.
What about Rosie and Trev? What kind of friends you guys got? You guys get lots of friends in your lives? Do you trust everyone in your life?
We're a pretty close circle, actually.
You could say that we have a lot of friends, but I mean, as far as going out to see everybody, we keep to ourselves for the most part. We don't go out too often or hang out with other people. We're more home driven.
Definitely more home driven. I think we've definitely weeded out a lot of people in our life as well.
I'm definitely certainly guilty of giving my time to the wrong people and getting burned very often, as a matter of fact. So I think I weeded myself out from spending so much time socializing, and we focus more on ourselves and our goals and our hobbies, what we like to do with our time.
I think it was surprising to see how many of our friends that we had before we met each other made weird attempts to get in between us, in and out of our relationship.
To prevent our relationship, we had quite a few of those.
Yeah, so those were definitely weeded out.
How do you determine whether someone is friend or foe? Even
we'll get to that too, Trev. We'll answer that question too.
It's hard because it's hard to trust people because I don't know. I've got. I guess that's not fair. I have maybe 2 people in my real life that, like, there's my friends that live across the street. That's like a good friend. Like, I guess I consider him more family than friend, so maybe that doesn't really count as friend. There's like 2 people. I could definitely count on one hand the people that I actually trust. But it's just really hard to trust people because you just can't tell people
I don't trust
things.
most people anymore.
You can't tell people things because they just like to tell your business, and it's just hard.
What about you, Denton? What kind of friendship do you have in your life right now?
Oh, well, now I have loads and loads of acquaintances, lots of people I know, but as regards what I would call real friends, I would, well, I'd certainly count them on one hand after a couple of fingers were amputated. So, you know, there are several who, yes, I would call real friends and that I trust, but most of the people I know are acquaintances, you know, and I'm perfectly happy with that because I wouldn't particularly want them to be any more than that, you know. But yeah, so but it is hard to trust people sometimes because you don't know what their motives are, you know. I mean, I have seen cases of people who are very, very nice and friendly, and they absolutely love you to bits, and then you discover they want something, they have an angle, they're trying to get something, you know. So I am quite wary. So yeah, there are several people that I would trust. You know, there's a few more that I probably don't know well enough to say that I would call them really trustworthy or not because I don't know them that well. You know, maybe they are, maybe they're not. But no, I don't have a vast circle of friends. My social calendar is a bit empty, I must say.
I'm the same way, but I don't trust anybody. I don't trust a single person around me.
Well, I don't trust you one bit. I'm just telling you. You're up there. Yeah, you're up there. No, I don't trust you. I never trust you.
I don't give my trust away freely.
Well,
you have to earn
it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes, it should be earned.
When I say that I don't trust anybody, it's because they haven't proved to me that they're trustworthy.
Yeah.
Like you said, like someone said a little bit ago about telling people stuff, they can take it and weaponize it and turn it against you. Use what you say and twist it around to their own means, their own agenda.
Absolutely.
So I trust nobody until they prove me otherwise. So as far as people like they're in my circle, I give a little bit of trust too. Like Trev, Rosie, you didn't, Jen, but I've done this long enough that I've realized that nobody stays around forever. So I try to remain friends, but I know that at some point in time that friendship's going to end doing what I do. Whether they do, and I'm not pointing you guys out in general. I'm just talking about through the last few years of going through a revolving door of co-hosts, the people who said they were my friends and really turned out to be nothing but somebody that was just using me to get some notoriety. But now I just like, you know what? I don't trust anybody until they earn that trust, and then I'll give them bits and see where they take that information and go with it.
Lots of time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to be that way.
Yeah, well, friendship should be like respect. You know, you should earn it, not necessarily just get it because you think you should have it. You know?
Yeah, I definitely don't think trust is
when you're new, anybody wants to anybody wants to be accepted. And yes, Mary Beth, you are part of that circle somewhere. You are. I don't know exactly where everybody's positioned at. I don't know if orders or seat organizations, but you are there. You are there. But what was I going with that? What was I saying? I forgot. I'm high.
Okay.
I totally spaced it. As far as giving people respect, it has to be earned, and they get it bit by me. I don't give anybody nothing fully, and then but you get burnt a lot. You turn that way.
I have a friend who had a saying. I think it was that trust is hard to earn and easy to burn.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
It's fitting for sure. It takes a long time to build up trust, but you can lose it
just like that.
Oh yeah, very easily.
Trust is a delicate thing.
I'm very guarded when it comes to others. Christina Bentano says best way to keep a secret with people is if two are dead. Don't tell what you don't want to know is my motto.
Oh, it's well, true. Once you share a secret with anyone, it's no longer a secret.
It's no longer a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes a weapon.
Yes, it does.
A lot of
I learned a long time ago to keep your secrets to yourself.
We all want to, as people, as human beings, we want to be accepted. And a lot of times that urge or that desire to be accepted, we lose our better judgments when it comes to that. Because we have that desire to be wanted and loved and appreciated. A lot of people mistake that for ego. And when the ego comes into play, that's when I experienced this exact same thing just last week when I had my last week's guest on. I won't mention names, but we know who the last week's guest was if you watched. And it was a little bit of a struggle for me to want to do that interview because after everything that I heard that this person did, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this or not. Whether it's my word to say, hey, you're on the show or not, there had to come a point where I had to think to myself, is this going against my morale, what my morals are? I still did it, and I said, fuck my morals, and I did it anyway.
Fuck those morals.
Yeah,
I want to meet the guy anyway. He was a nice person. It was just behind the scenes stuff that bothers you, that puts things into question. Why are you doing what you're doing, and what's your motive behind it? How much of this you're doing right now is ego driven?
Yeah,
and it happens a lot with a lot of people. It really does. Bands, musicians, TV personalities, people who do shows on YouTube or on Facebook. There's an element of ego. No matter how big or small your show is, they got this idea in their head that I have a show, so I'm the shit. I'm the top dog around here. In all reality, you're just nothing but another chump doing another video. Yeah,
you're quite right. This idea that, well, I'm the top thing on the totem pole, sort of thing, because I'm me, and they kind of feel that everybody else may be doing the same thing too. So you're not that important, kind of. Oh, the majority of Americans now.
Friendship seems to be given away a lot nowadays. Everybody wants to say, like let's take Facebook for instance. Everybody, if you're on my list, it's what? A friends list. So that word, that friend, it's getting taken for granted, and it's used way too frequently for it to mean anything anymore.
You're absolutely right. You're totally right. Friend has come more to mean an acquaintance, someone you just happen to know, not a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
A big difference.
True.
So it's an easy thing it's an easy word to use, just like the word I love you. It's an easy word to use because it's just easy to use because you think you can get your way in life or with somebody. You're gaining favor with somebody, and that's never really how it works. Friends and followers.
Well, I must say the phrase "I love you." I mean, that's very jaundiced to me. I mean, having been in the theater, because so many times, people, oh, I love you, darling. I absolutely loved your show. I remember somebody coming into a dressing room and talking to someone else, not me. And they were saying, loved your performance here. You're absolutely wonderful, amazing, and all this, But then the person went out the door, and they said, fucker couldn't act for nuts. It was all just, it didn't mean anything, but they were bandying, I love you all over the place. So when people say, oh, I love you, I kind of think,
it's just one of those words that gets used really lightly nowadays.
It's people so easy to say.
And there's no meaning behind it. Somebody can tell you I love you 100 times during the day, but does that word after like the third or fourth time mean anything at that point. You're just
Not
saying
really,
it to
no.
say it.
Yeah.
I want
Yes.
that word love to be used with compassion, with sincerity, not something that's just getting tossed around because you like the word or you think the other person enjoys that word. That's not how love.
Or for
That's not what love
manipulation.
is.
Yeah, it
or
should mean
manipulation.
something.
It's been ingrained in society that way. Like I'm super guilty of doing that all the time, using those terms more loosely than they should be in the first place.
Yeah.
Christina says here, words are not without action that backs them up. That's correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's the actions that really matter.
Love
Yes.
is treated like a dirty word, Mary Beth says. Facebook user says, I love you, Sid. Mean it.
Love you, mean it. Bye.
Oh, we all love you, Sid. We all love you, don't we? Yeah.
Lisa's got a point here too. Our values have changed over time too when it comes to how we value our friendships. Because of social media, the value of friendship really means nothing anymore because people come and go so much in your life. 1 minute they're your friend, and the next day you post something a little awkward, then they're not your friend no more. Yeah, then you're blocked, not friends no more.
Oh it's my the God! Don't tell me phone calls. Hello.
How about this? I got him on mute. So yeah, friend. A friend is a word that it's tossed around so lightly that doesn't mean anything nowadays, really. But due to social media, hey friends, come join me at this, or hey friends, come join me at that. And then soon you post something about somebody, about some kind of transgender or a women not having a cock and
or politics or
getting
religion or anything like that.
Anything.
Boom, you catch a block.
People are so offended nowadays over every little thing. Even our old cartoon Disney movies, all kinds of shit. People get super.
Isn't it ridiculous? And science. I mean, science and all that goes out the window. Like this thing. All the people now who, if they say, well, you know, a man can't menstruate or get pregnant or anything like this, you get cancelled. You even get sacked for stating what is a medical fact. You know, but it offends somebody, and I just find that so irritating.
Luckily for them, I've been in an offending mood the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, well, offend away. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah.
And I'm actually having fun doing it because if I'm offending you, then there's something that's rooted deep inside of you that you're still not comfortable with. Maybe the ones that complain about being a transsexual or transsexuals behind the scenes and don't want nobody to know, and they feel guilty about it, being one and not being open about it. And here I am posting, what bothers me, I guess, the most about it is that I don't care how you dress or what you want to be, but don't take away certain days, holidays, or celebration days like International Women's Day. That's a woman's day. No matter how you want to look at it, it's for the women.
Well, women are being gradually erased. I mean, the United Nations, one branch of them recently, for International Women's Day, they had a trans woman as the spokesperson for it, who is not a woman. I mean, it's.
And I don't want to sound mean about it, but it kind of bothers me a little bit. It's like you get Gay Pride Month, right? They get a whole month to celebrate, have fun, do your thing, a whole entire month, and you still want to double dip in an actual International Women's Day, all because they didn't have a cock.
Yeah, well, an awful lot of gay people are getting quite annoyed that the trans people want to get in on like Pride and that. And in fact, the head of a lesbian and gay association in Britain recently was saying it's ridiculous. She said, we don't use the T because she said, to be gay means that you fancy someone of your own sex. To be trans means you want to be the other sex. And she said, you can't. It's a biological fact. A man's a man, a woman's a woman. And a lot of gay people are getting quite annoyed because trans has nothing to do with being gay. It's a completely different thing. And it shouldn't really be added on to the end of the LGBT because it's nothing to do with being gay at all. And I certainly agree with that. It has nothing to do with being gay.
But it's a simple post like that can ruin a friendship, and then it begs the question: what is friendship? What is? Which we're going to take a music break.
Social media.
We're going to take a music break, and we're going to come back and talk about that, Trev.
Okay.
I'm not just yet. I was you guys got a little bit of lag. I'm not trying to interrupt you, Trev, at all. So
for sure.
don't yell at me after the show, cussing me out, saying I want the fucking show. It's my show. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
We won't yell at you after the show. We'll yell at you now. Much better.
Okay, Catherine, here we go. Here comes the big, before we do this video, here comes the big question. I beg to differ with you. I know a trans woman who is more woman than a lot of women I've met.
True, but she won't have a vagina or a womb, and she can't get pregnant.
There's still a man. Now, whatever they've done with that penis is up to them, but end of the day, that birth certificate says a male. All I was doing was just making a funny post about, well, for all the women without a cock, we salute you. And it turned into a transgender battle over a fucking stupid meme. That tells you what the value of friendship is really about.
Yep.
Is friendship something we can debate and sit here and talk about? Like with Kathleen here. She begs to differ with me. We have different matters of opinions.
No, that's fine.
And yes, there probably is a bunch of men out there as women that probably behave a lot better than what a lot of women do. I agree with that.
Oh, yes. I mean, I've seen a trans person who was actually would have made a better woman than some real women I know. I mean, that's quite true. But she still wouldn't be a woman, but she might make a better one if you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah.
And it's going to get deep. It's my head because some cords tonight. She goes, I don't have a womb.
See,
does this less me less a woman?
Agree with Kathleen. I believe that trans women are women. I will say that. And I don't feel like them celebrating International Women's Day takes anything from me as a woman. But I am not an avid International Women's Day person. Like, I'm not going to have a fit about it. But I'm not going to argue with people, and I'm not going to come on your post on Facebook and have a cow about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get the vitriol that has to be spewed about it. You know what I'm saying?
You can have a discussion, talk about it. That's
exactly.
Fine. You have your opinion, he has his opinion. But if it's, how dare you have a different opinion to me? I'm offended. You're going to be
exactly.
Canceled.
We can all have our opinions and thoughts on it, and there's no reason to get angry about it or you know, have or like, you know, attack someone on it about it, because that's just crazy. You just have conversations.
I can understand if I was being offensive. But I've been offensive for the last 3 weeks. So that post wasn't like anything new as far as me pushing the envelope. Yeah. And once again, to be very clear, I don't care what anybody wants to identify as. I don't care who they want to be. There's just, I feel like there should be certain limits. Is it fair for a male that's transitioning to a female to be in women's sports? I don't think it is. I don't think it's fair.
That's not fair. I don't think that biologically that's fair in any way. I do think that there's people out there that are born with real genetic differences that cause them to be unisex or have a little bit more male features or female features. I think that those biological factors are real.
Jim says it perfectly.
And I think that it's okay to have an opinion as long as your opinion isn't hurting someone. Like, as long as you're not spewing slurs at people with your opinion.
As long as you're not spreading hate. If you're not spreading hate
and you're hurting people with your opinion, then I don't think it's a problem to have an opinion.
The society has gotten so touchy when it comes to everything. You can say one thing and the next day you could be canceled just like that. Just because you're trying to voice an opinion or what your view of something is. Once again, if it revolves right back down to, you're supposed to be my friend, and if you're my friend, why are we having a big debate over a silly, funny post instead of, if it was something I was being a really like a shitty human being about, like I get it. If I'm being a shitty human being and I'm being an asshole about it, fine, come at me about it. I'd probably deserve it, and I would probably take it, but I won't sit there and take somebody with no sense of humor.
Right.
I got it into
it was a funny meme, and I read it and I didn't think twice about it, but
I didn't either when I posted. I just thought it was fucking funny that I put it on there. The next thing I know, I done pissed off the whole trans community. I'm like, fuck. What happened to laughing?
I didn't see any.
I didn't see anything.
I mean, I saw the post, but I guess I missed all of the comments afterwards or something.
Yes, unfortunately, my humor is pretty dark. So we're going to come back. We're going to take a music break. We're going to listen to another band that we played at the concert last night. This is Poppy. I haven't seen the video. I don't even know if I even heard the song, to be fair. I mean, I was there last night, but I don't know what I heard. But this is one of their videos from Poppy herself. We're going to come back. We're going to be talking about friends and foes. Now, where is our value system when it comes to how we pick and choose our friends? Is it a popularity contest with the most follows or likes, or is it something more intimate and more sincere? Think about it while we're on break. We'll be right back, everybody.
It don't. It don't go down.
Robert, it goes down.
No, it don't.
It do go down.
Oh!
What's up, everybody? This is Corey from the band Carbon Stone, and you are watching Inner Demon Media. Rock on.
Never put your grimy hands on my steering wheel, trying to jerk me off the road. I'll be the driver in my own life, vigilant, self-assured. I know that makes you hard, but you can't run me off the road. Won't be fooled by my own heart. Call me virginal, call me all the perversions of someone who could cut you off surgical. God, please be merciful, 'cause
Don't miss the next episode of Serious Cougar. Eunice goes on a bender with a pool boy and breaks her hip. If women in their 20s don't know their ass from their elbow, and women in their 50s know what they like, imagine being with an experienced, pleasure-loving octogenarian wrestling with dementia and horniness. The show that hits below the belt, just like her breasts. Serious Cougar, Wednesday nights at 9 on Weasel.
It's like a breath. Oh, I like that one. Yes, that's good. I like that. That song was quite good. I like that. I certainly like the two-handed broadsword. That was
that was Poppy. Some people on here like the song, and it didn't sound bad. To be fair, I don't know what's happening.
It's not my kind of music, but I mean, it wasn't awful.
Mm-hmm. But it just didn't seem for me going to an Avenged Sevenfold concert to have a dubstep guy performing the first set, then the second set more of a pop sound, electronic sound with her, and then you're going to Avenged Sevenfold to transition. It just seemed like
that's a weird mix.
Yeah,
so we're so excited to see
me off. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're all on Sumerian Records label. And Sumerian's been putting these weird tours together of all these different genres that are on their label. And
trying to get some exposure for some of these lower standing bands is what I feel like it is. But damn, you could have picked a rock band to put in with a rock
would have been a good idea.
Yeah, it does seem strange.
Genre diverse.
It's very strange mixing these genres. I mean, you hardly want sort of Mozart and Ozzy Osbourne on the same concert. It just wouldn't gel.
It doesn't mesh the fucking proper way. It would irritate me going to see Avenged 7, and that's what I had to sit through for like 2 hours until we got to Avenged. That would just irritate the fuck out.
See, but that's how you end up with these weird collaborations too. Like Poppy's just did the song with Bad Omens, but Poppy's not a metal artist.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, who is she and why is she singing with them? Because I love them. But I'm like, who are you?
Well, the thing is, and I think a lot of people, when Band came out, the Poppy and Bad Omens song, a lot of people were expecting something completely different. And Sumerian Records basically wanted them to do a song with her, had her sing the song, but had Noah Sebastian engineer it. So they were able to call it Bad Omens, but it wasn't really Bad Omens either. Like, I don't know. So, money. Honestly.
Let's get some of these comments here. Christina says kids do see it as a problem when they're teenagers trying to use the bathroom with multiple stalls and opposite sexes in the bathroom.
Yeah. I can see that. Yes.
Lisa says it's got some dancing feel to it.
Yeah.
Even Dan and Hugh. And she says she has a teenage child wanting to drop out of school because of it.
Yeah.
And Lisa Marie says, oh my God, that was amazing. Let's go Cougars.
Wow, that could be exciting.
That says, Kathleen says that's pretty extreme. I'm torn about that whole stall bathroom thing too, man, to be fair. I'm not going to deny it. I don't think they should be sharing bathrooms, to be fair. I don't.
No, they shouldn't. No. And when you have something like Leah Thomas, walking around the women's changing room with his penis waving about, but saying I'm a woman, I mean, that's not on, I don't think, at all.
What do you two think? What do you other two think?
I think they need to jump through all of the hoops before they can use those terms. Every hoop, the full transfer would have to be done, taken care of, and set in all the way.
And Jim says, I don't know. I've seen trans men on tests that I'm sure you don't want in the women's bathroom either.
Yeah,
if they're not fully transitioned, then it doesn't make it as much of a problem.
Yeah, and then if they are fully transitioned, how far does it go, past discrimination?
Yeah, just make single-use bathrooms and be done with it. Just make
and everyone in the room has the same genitals. It shouldn't be a problem. But hormones can cause you to act certain ways at the same time, especially if they're imbalanced. So, I mean, I understand why some females would be not okay with letting a trans woman use the bathroom if they weren't fully transitioned, if they just weren't comfortable with it. I mean, if you had someone who looked like a full man who was just starting to transition with estrogen using the women's bathroom, I would be uncomfortable with that. I mean,
oh yes, yeah. I mean, any person who is still intact and have everything they down there. I mean, no, they shouldn't be in the female. But at least we can. One good thing. I mean, we're talking about it. We're discussing, and what we were saying earlier about friendship. I mean, I have about 45 really good friends and acquaintances, but at least I don't think I know anyone that I couldn't have a discussion with that would end a friendship. And I think that's good. It's nice when you can talk about something as we are without saying, well, I don't agree with your views, so I'm not talking to you again.
Well, there are unisex bathrooms all over. And I mean, I've used unisex bathrooms. There are stalls. I don't have children, right? So I don't have a dog in that fight.
I have never seen a full bathroom that was unisex with stalls. I've only seen unisex bathrooms with the urinal and a toilet only in one room. That's all I've seen.
That's the kind of unisex bathroom I'm talking about, because I've never seen one that's like unisex with a whole bunch of stalls. And like I said, I don't have kids. I don't have a dog in that fight. So I can't speak to the school situation. and I don't know how I would feel about that. I don't know what I would do.
I don't like the idea of it.
But
I
here's
got
my thing,
boys.
and someone else said this too. If you've got to pee, you've got to pee. And that's what I'm going to the bathroom to do, is go to the bathroom. I'm not going in there to hang out and chill and chit chat. I'm going to the bathroom. So I don't really care who else is in there, quite frankly. And there have been times that as a girl, you had to go into the men's bathroom because there's another person in the girls' bathroom. So I don't get hung up on the bathroom debate. Again, I don't have kids, so that makes it different for me because I don't have that aspect of it to worry about.
I don't care.
I don't care. I've had a gay man pee next to me, so I don't have issues.
I've been in jail. I've seen enough penises and grown ass men peeing for it to bother me. To be fair, I've been in jail way too many fucking times to worry about another man's penis that's next to me.
So,
That's not my issue.
I want to interrupt for a second. I feel like we're way off topic from
we're way off topic.
We're way off topic.
Yeah.
I feel like this became a huge debate about how everyone feels about the trans community. I think we should either go back on topic.
Go ahead.
So we were talking about friends or foes.
I'll sit here and debate all fucking night. It's not that I disagree with anybody, so to be clear, everybody's watching. I don't agree or disagree. This is just an open discussion. So it did kind of go sideways. So you're right for bringing it back, Rosie, because we are sitting here talking about friends and how we value friendships now. Is there a standard for all of you guys to answer? Is there a standard you guys go by now when it comes to how you pick your friends?
I honestly think so. I think that I've been through the ringer enough, especially. I mean, at one point, all my friends tried to put me in prison. So, I mean, my standard of friends is very limited and very high now. I mean, I feel like in order to be in my life or our life, you kind of have to have a drive and you have to have something that you can contribute, not in a selfish way, but we give out a lot of energy and we give out a lot of love and we give out a lot of care to people, and we're looking for people who kind of can put that same energy back into our friendships.
We're usually looking for people that are growing, and trying to live life. I think a lot of people.
How do you gauge it? If you get to that point, you find somebody that has similar likes that you guys do. How do you gauge that level of friendship before it becomes like a bond?
Honestly, so I guess like I can bring up my girlfriend Joey. She and I started working together, and she was like a single mom to 3 kids when she and I started working, and she saw that like I was going to school and I was doing all these things in my life. And it actually inspired her on her own to start going to school and making a better life for herself in certain ways. And that was really inspirational to me. And she and I started really bonding on that level because we both started growing and we started having things to talk about and things that we could relate on the directions in life that we were trying to go. And I feel like having that support and having a friend who is going on a similar path as you are at that time can really help, in what you're doing. So like, I know that there have been times that, I'll be struggling in some of my classes and she'll be having a hard time, but we support each other in that. And we understand the same struggle of what we're both going through. And we've bonded on that quite a bit. I mean, she ended up being one of the very few people to come and help me out at our wedding. So, and that was, I think she and I became friends less than a year ago. And she's one of the more better adult friends that I've had.
That's good. Very good.
It's something really hard to judge. I'm super picky with my friends, but there again, I'm also guilty of throwing the term around loosely in the first place. But friends to me are the relationships that help each other grow and, always have good vibes.
And are you willing to be honest with your friends? I mean, is it a true friendship if you're not willing to be honest with them in times that they're acting out of character or their morals just aren't aligning with, themselves or you or what you believe in? I mean, to be able to be honest with a friend and say, hey, I don't think what you're doing is right, or right for you, or
being
healthy.
able to have a dispute and make it through still being friends, that's definitely something that counts. Because you could be friends for a good old amount of time, and then and never have any problems, and then your first debate all of a sudden you're no longer friends. And to me, I don't think you were really friends in the first place if you can't get through something as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
What about you, Denton? What? How do you classify your friendship levels?
Well, I would classify a true friend as one where the friendship continues to grow, and like Trev said, you can have a debate, you can talk to them about anything, and it's not going to end the friendship. In my case, the really close friends that I have, in each case, it was an instant thing. In the phrase "love at first sight," it's bandied around, but my closest friend here, I met physically. Other friends I met online. But in each case, it was a kind of instant. I see the person and I'm drawn to them. They're drawn to me. It's a kind of the love at first sight phrase really just describes it.
Sort of like a twin flame, but for friendships.
Something like that, yes, where there's an instant bond, if you like. That's what I found in the case of all those that I would consider really true friends, not just people I know who are quite nice. So that's the way my sort of friendships came about.
Jen?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I kind of gauge mine, and this is almost a little bit cliche, but on how you treat animals and children.
Oh, yes.
If you aren't kind to animals and children, I kind of decide that you're an asshole and I don't want anything to do with you. But also, I can usually tell pretty quickly if you're going to be someone I can tolerate to be around or not. Mm-hmm. And I have a really large, diverse group of people and these are people you consider the friends, like the Facebook friends and stuff. And it you guys all know I'm a practicing witch. And so I do have Christian friends. I have witch friends. It runs the gamut of belief systems. So I don't necessarily discount someone because of their belief systems. But if you're an asshole and I see you be an asshole to somebody, like if we're at dinner and you're an asshole to the waiter, you're out. Like,
oh yes, I agree. I agree absolutely with you. I don't care what you believe in, who you are, etc. But if you treat animals badly and you say you abuse the waiter, yes, I know. I can't.
I can't tolerate rudeness like that. That's the kind of thing that makes me decide if you're someone I even want to bother getting to know. And then, I'm like with you guys, if you want to grow, if you want to have a conversation, if you can have a civil debate and still be my friend. And if you can tolerate me, because I can be a crude, rude ass bitch in the ways that it counts. I have one friend that's in the chat, Dana, and she probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a very forward, blunt person. What you see is what you're going to get, and it's this all the time. I don't act any differently around any other people. I don't care if you're the chairman of the board or if you're the waiter at the place. It doesn't matter. I'm still just this person.
Yes.
And you have to be able to tolerate that.
I agree.
I want to see qualities that I have in myself with my friends. So if I see you, like for instance, like last night when I went to the concert, we went to get something to eat at Chick-fil-A before the show began. And I'm sitting in line, and here comes this elderly black man off the streets, come walking in, and asked this young lady, we're pretty sure was going to the show. She looked like she was, at least. If she wasn't, my bad. But she looked like she was going to the show, and the gentleman came up to her and goes, "Do you have $4? I'm hungry." And she just kind of looked up at him and snarled, stuck her nose up, and she zipped up her purse, and I seen the money. So I was like, ma'am, just put your purse away. I got this guy. So I ended up giving him $20. He took the money, immediately got something to eat, and ate, and then sat there next to us. And as I'm eating, here comes another younger black man off the streets and asked if I was going to eat the rest of my fries. I'm like, look, you can have the rest of my meal. Take the rest of whatever I have here. Take my drink, take my fries, take the chicken tenders. It's all yours. Now, if I see you do that, we're going to be friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
It just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind.
I don't care what your story is, what the person's going through. I don't care in the back of your head whether or not this guy's going to take the money for drugs.
Exactly.
That's not
exactly.
our part.
It doesn't
that's not
matter.
our responsibility. Yes, that's not our responsibility. What our background is. Our responsibility as human beings to give each other a helping hand. Be that one person in that crowd that's not doing nothing for them. Do something for them.
Yeah.
If you can do that, we'll be friends. We'll probably be friends for the rest of our lives. But sadly, there's not enough of me to go around in the world.
Right.
Yes.
I almost got fired one time because I worked at a place that shall not be named, but we worked right next to a Starbucks, and we had people that would donate blankets for us to hand out to people that needed them. And there was a homeless fellow, and it was cold, and he had a dog. And so I thought, okay, well, we give these out to people that need them. So I went and got one of the blankets and gave it to him. And my boss is like, that's not what those are for. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean that's not what they're for? They're for fucking people that are cold and need a blanket. He's cold and he needs a blanket. And I'm like, fire me, fine, I don't care. And then I went and got him some dog food because we were, we were in a shopping center. And I'm just like, why? Why do you have to be that way? If he needs it, give it to him. People donated it for that reason.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Yeah. Be nice.
I like what Blondie says here. Once it leaves your hands, what they do with it is none of our business. What matters that you give a fuck enough to care and help.
That's my friend Dana.
And maybe the people that are sitting there in the side of the restaurant are right. Maybe they're going to take that money and do something with it. That's not our problem. We gave them what they needed. They wanted some food. They needed some money to get some food. Luckily for me, I got to witness the people that I gave the money to eat. When I gave the $20 to that old man, he ate all $20 worth of that money. And then I sat there with that young black man. He was sitting right there across from me. He ate every single bit. Now, did he look like he was fucked up? Absolutely. But I don't care. I don't
None
care.
of our business.
None of our
You're
business.
hungry, here's some food.
Exactly.
Now, if you could do that, just that alone, just that, we could be friends.
Yeah.
But sadly, there's not enough people out there in the world that give enough about anybody else but themselves.
And if you're one of those people that can't be bothered to help somebody, you don't need to be around me or my friend.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Jim says exactly. I've bought people a beer who asked for money outside a store. I'm not fixing their issues, but that compassion without judgment might. And that's the key. You're showing them.
Very good. Very good.
That's what it's all about. If you can do things like that, we can be friends. So yeah, I may be a little bit picky, and it may be seem like it's trying to find a needle in a haystack. But I have to believe that there's still some sort of human conditioning in us left that has enough compassion to want to help a fellow human being. And if you can't be one of those people, then we probably will never be able to be friends, because I have tons of compassion for people. I give things away because I feel I have to, not have to, but I like doing it. Like during Thanksgiving time, I gave away a bunch of turkeys here on Facebook. During Christmas time, I bought a bunch of people Christmas gifts and had it sent to them through Amazon. I just like giving, because you just don't know what somebody's going through at the time.
Yes.
Especially during the holidays, that you're blessed. So why not take some a little bit of what you've been blessed with and hand it out to others?
Absolutely.
That's what positive vibe and momentum going, at least for me. And Scott says, I have to say I appreciate Sid and everything. Thank you, Scott.
Yes, I agree.
I've known Scott for a really long fucking time, so if I'm making faces because I've known him for a really long time. Lisa Marie says, I'll be your bestie, Sid, if you want to send me some lighthouse guy. You must have seen that post earlier. Mary Beth says, I gave a huge tip to a young waitress I overheard crying to another waitress about not having anything for Christmas. Boom.
That's lovely.
I've sat in restaurants and during the holiday season, I have me and my family will have something to eat, and I'll see an old couple sitting like catty-corner from me. And they only was able to afford one plate, and they were sharing food off that one plate to have dinner. I was like, I got up purposely to go find their waitress. It's like, look, whatever they want to get it for them, I'll pay for it. So they spent like $100 between themselves eating, and they turned around and took the money they had for their dinner and tipped the waitress $50. So there was this full circle moment as well too. You show a little bit of compassion to others, that they'll turn around and show compassion to someone else, and that's what they did. They took the money they had for dinner and gave it to the waitress.
Nice.
Not a lot of people tip very often anymore either. Tips really go a long ways nowadays because people aren't doing it as often.
We need more of that, and you'd be surprised how the world would slowly start to change. But right now, this world is always fixated on hate and segregation and politics and
just like the vitriol that you talk about on Facebook, on social media. You see something, it's so easy to say something ugly to somebody because you're behind a keyboard. It's not, it's stuff you would never say to a person's face unless you're me. I would say everything I say to a person's face. But it gets so ugly and I hate it. Like, that's why a lot of times on Sundays, I just do a whole social media break. I don't get on it at all because I just can't deal with all of it.
Yeah.
I try to take a break, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. So what
Most of my social media is just filled with music.
What should we take another video break? Or should we continue this topic? Well, it's almost an hour and a half. Let's continue talking. We don't want to we'll hit them with another one for the show's over with. So what do you guys think could be some of the solutions to people out here that are watching right now of how to guard themselves when it comes to friendships? How are they able to decipher what a friend and what a foe is? Denton, would you like to start the conversation, buddy?
Well, that can be very hard to do because there are a lot of people, a lot of the manipulators and scammers and questionable people are very, very good at having a front. They can put up this front that seems very, very nice. And I know someone who suffered from a person like that. They helped them, they bought them stuff, they bought them food, and it turned out that the person didn't really need it at all, and they were actually selling the food that was being given to them by this generous person. It's very hard to know. I mean, I've been lucky with the people that I have bonded with. They have all proven themselves to be trustworthy. But it is hard. And often you don't know what a person is really like until they do something on you that shows they're not what you thought they were. How to spot it,
I agree.
it can be very hard. I mean, there can be little subtle things that can give you a clue, like you said about animals and that. I mean, if I saw somebody and they kicked a passing dog or something, I wouldn't care how nice they appeared to be. I would say, no, you're actually a lump of shit, and I don't want to know you. It's as simple as that. But I think it's very hard to know that a person is what they appear to be. So I can't really sort of give any tips on that, except just be careful and watch for little signs that don't quite gel. You know.
Yeah,
Is it such a novel idea? I'm going to speak next, and I'll let you guys. Is it such a novel idea to make someone earn your friendship?
No.
I mean, is it such a taboo idea to make someone earn their place in your life? And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. If you want to be in my life from now on, you have to earn that spot in my life, because I am very easy to give that away. I have to teach myself to stop giving that away. And so from now on, you're going to earn it. And I guarantee you, once they start earning your trust, there won't be shit that you're going to see later on down the road, as far as the little nuances of what they're kicking a dog or whatever. You'll already have that shit figured out before you even get that far, if you make them earn their place in your life. Go ahead, Rosie, Trev.
I think I was going to say, do they genuinely celebrate your successes? But I've definitely had friends that celebrate my successes more than anyone, and yet they're the ones that always stab me the hardest. So I really do agree, I think, with Denton that it's almost like a keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer situation.
Yeah.
It's always my closest people that have hurt me that have hurt me the worst, or done me the worst. And so I genuinely think that sometimes you just have to learn the hard way. And when you learn, I feel like you learn to love yourself more through other people hurting you in those ways. And you do learn to protect yourself more. And when you learn to love yourself, that's when you start making people earn your time. Do they put the effort in without you having to put it forth necessarily? Are these people genuinely reaching out a helping hand without asking for anything in return? Are they genuinely supporting your goals in a way that's constructive, or are they just congratulating you on the surface and then talking shit behind your back? I mean, I think that you have to go through it in order to really look and in order to really see what to look for.
So you rather let them in and say you're your friend and let them do shit to you just so you can find something to look for?
I'd rather get burned to learn my lesson first.
I rather the motherfuckers earn their place in my life.
Well, I mean, I'm also younger in this group here that we're not speaking of. So I'm still going through learning processes of these friendships, but I do think that it's something that you have to experience. I think that and this doesn't just go for friendships. I think that this goes for life in general. I don't think
anybody in your life. That's right.
You go through something. So I would rather go through it and learn than not go through it and know the answers.
I think that's necessary.
Yeah, I think it's for growth. I think it's necessary for growth and character. I mean, when so many people burn you, I think when you're a good person and you can still remain a good person after so many people have hurt you and thrown you in the dirt and thrown you in the fire, I think that is a huge strength. And I think that remaining a good person, you will eventually attract other good people.
That's happening. I had to tell myself that same exact thing. But I'm almost 50 years old. And I've lost a lot of friends, especially doing this here. Doing this, people come and go. It's a revolving fucking door. So I've learned to be more cautious of who I'm saying as my true friend. Someone that has my back. Someone who's looking out for my best interest as well as me looking out for their best interest. So if they haven't earned that spot, then it's going to be hard for me to open up anymore until they earn their spot with my trust. And my mind is as a sacred place. Whenever I lose somebody, it hurts. It hurts me deeply because I've given so much time to these people, and here they are bailing on me, leaving, taking off, this and that. And a lot of people go, "Why don't you just brush it off and move on?" Well, I've invested a lot of time in friendships, building these people up, counseling them, going to their house, making visits, this and that. There's a deep connection that I'm making with these people, thinking that they're my friend, which I have to look back. When I look back, it's my fault because I let them in that far before I actually gave them the opportunity to prove if my trust is worthy for you or not. Yeah. So that's why I started resorting to, they're going to start earning my trust. And when they start earning it little by little, I free up some of the wall. I tear down brick by brick my walls that I've built to let certain people in.
Okay. My last sisterhood type friendship that I had, I mean, like, we were closer than I think any friend I've ever had in some ways or in most ways. And she definitely hurt me the worst, but I never got over that. I spent a year crying over it, even though she had burned me multiple times before. And I eventually think I saw her a year later, and I had 15 minutes with her, and I sat her down and I pretty much told her everything that I felt, good and bad.
Suck my ass, bitch.
I let her have it for a good 15 minutes, and then I just never saw her again. And I was like, "This is the last time."
My taint, bitch. That's what you get.
I cried for a good year over that.
sometimes it's hard to let go of those connections and bonds, you know, when they do come to an end and somebody does burn you, it's hard to let go of that. And I definitely know the feeling of, you know, how much remorse and regret you have for those situations, because it leaves this hole in you, you know, then you don't feel like anybody else cared about it as much as you cared about it, and that sucks just as it is.
Jen, what about you? What are some advice you can give some folks about letting people in your life?
I follow my intuition, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. I look at the relationships that they have with other people. And if they have long-lasting relationships with other people, if they've been able to keep other friendships or not, you know. You can always also do background checks on people.
You know, on to what you just said. How are their friendships with other people? I guess one way that I should have been able to tell, you know, this, speaking of this previous friendship that I had, one huge telltale sign I should have had was the fact that she would come to me and talk shit about every other person she hung out with.
That's a huge
I was dumb
indicator.
enough to think that she wasn't going to those people and spreading lies about me and my character. I was dumb enough to think that I was the only one, blah, 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 that she was coming back and talking shit to.
If a person's talking about other people all the time, be sure that they're talking about you. And that's how, if they're respectful of their friendships and relationships with other people, then they're probably a good enough person that, you know, you can put a little bit of trust in them. And that's one of the things I look at, is their relationships with other people and how they talk about other people, and do they have lasting relationships with other people. That's a pretty good indicator of whether or not they're a shit person or not.
Bondi here has wrote in and says, I'm a very guarded person because of my past, to the point that I fear genuine friendships could get away if I don't attempt to trust to some degree. But I'm finding respect and trust is happening by watching who they are from a distance, and within certain situations, then I'm able to come to a place where I think, okay, I like the way this person moves and deals with things. I can be a little less guarded with them, and that's how I'm learning to proceed with caution, if that makes sense. Makes total sense.
Watching from afar.
Very sensible,
Yeah. Looking and engaging from the outside. For me, it definitely to consider a true friend, it definitely takes a long time, not months or even a year, but maybe 5 to 10. I think that time has to pass to get to know someone enough to be able to make those assumptions.
Scott asked a little bit ago, and I kind of passed past it because we were still in a deep conversation, but Scott is wondering, we've been friends for 35 years. He asked my opinion, what I thought about our friendship. All I got to say is one word, Scott: sexual.
Oh.
Scott
Not the answer Scott was looking for.
And he also wondered how long me and him have been friends since junior high. So I'd say I'm 49, so probably about 35 years we've been friends, and it's been sexual the whole time. I just never told you until now. I'm coming out now, Scott.
Boys.
Oh, there you go. You're coming out of the closet. There we go.
I love you, Scott. I love you.
Nice. I like it.
Lisa Marie says, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I do deep research on people sometimes just because I'm nosy.
Oh, yeah, you got to research them. You got to dig around on them. I mean,
I dare any one of you motherfuckers to do a background search on me.
I really don't think I want to.
I don't think you probably want to either. I mean, I've got a checkered past, but that doesn't define who we are today, though, right?
No, that is true. That's very true.
The background check on me, they want to see me.
I have a pretty colorful past myself.
20 times going to jail for stupid shit.
I think that, I mean, in most of us, in our own ways, we're spiritual workers, and I feel like in order to even be a spiritual worker, you have to have a good side and a bad side. You have to have a dark past and a light side, because they have to coexist. You can't get around that.
Yeah.
I think you can be a really good person with a really dark past. I know, I am one. I mean,
Christina's like, you can find my info on my case, all public, nothing to hide. We can find Sheets with me. Sheets.
I played the fifth.
Look, we all got a checkered past, but it doesn't define what we do in the past. Doesn't define what we are today, but what we do in the past helps us learn to be a better person today.
Help make me who I am. That's for sure.
All those bad things that we've done, those little broken pieces, all part of a great big masterpiece that's called you. Whether it's Jen, whether it's Rosie, whether it's Trev, whether it's Denton, myself, we had to experience these things. Otherwise, what kind of credentials would we have being on here on this show talking about anything if we've not experienced it at least once, right?
Oh, for
I
sure.
don't think there's one person here has ever not gotten themselves in trouble at least once.
Oh, I've been in lots of trouble.
It's just some we got caught, some we didn't. Like that time at church. I vandalized it.
Yeah.
Never got caught, but sure got a lot of deer piss all over the place. I hated the fucking organ. I hated hearing it, so I went and sprayed cans of deer piss on the keys. I was sitting at the church, and the old lady was getting ready to play the fucking organ, and she's up there and she's playing, and it's loud. And she's playing. Next thing you know, I could see her go, "What is that?" And I know she's thinking it, and she's playing some more. She took her fingers and did one of these numbers on her fingers. Started playing some more. And then the paint started to fucking bubble. As the church was going on, the paint was bubbling. The finish was bubbling off the organ. Sorry, Jesus.
Sorry, Jesus.
Sorry, Jesus. Where was you at when I needed you, Jesus?
I like that. Jesus.
Or that time there, when I jumped on Wendy's counter and did a little jig to Donna Summer, that ended up being in jail. I jumped on a fish fry tent once. Took a boot, and I wanted to be a pirate, so I climbed up the tree, jumped off the tree with a boot knife in my hand, and I wanted to slide down the tent with the knife like the new pirates do. I did that once, and my best friend got caught for it. I ran away. His fat ass got caught. No, what?
You didn't run fast enough. It's not my fault.
He got in so much trouble. All right, well, I guess that's the show tonight, right?
Are we doing Denton's story time or Rosie's cards?
Well, I mean, as far as the topic, we still got more to get.
Okay.
So, and
I'm just trying to keep you. I'm just keeping you on the straight and narrow.
Somebody needs to. So, Denton, are you ready for your Denton story time tonight?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm always ready to look at me. I mean, it's one of the favorite things I look at.
I wanted to put it in the middle of the show, but I thought it was kind of like an odd timing to put it in when it was in such a deep conversation. So I was waiting towards the end to put it in. But everybody, we got another Denton story time for you. And tonight's topic for Denton is, what is a pagan? So we'll be right back, everybody. Enjoy. It's Denton story time.
Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Denton's Storytime. Now, the Old Norse, who feature quite prominently, of course, in my videos, were pagans for much of the so-called Viking Age. But if you ask probably the majority of people what a pagan was, well, they might not be able to give you the correct answer. So, this time, I'm asking the question: what is a pagan? Or you can say heathen. The two words really mean much the same thing. Well, the simple answer to that question is anyone who isn't a follower of the three so-called Abrahamic religions, which are Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. All the other lot are pagan. Yes, any religion that is not Christian, Jewish, or Islamic is pagan by definition. Buddhism, Hinduism, Shinto, Wiccan. You can worship a turnip on a stick, or that big tree at the bottom of your garden, and you're a pagan. And pagan beliefs can be both pantheistic with multiple deities, or monotheistic with just a single deity, because a faith does not have to have multiple gods in order to be seen as pagan. Oh no, though some people do seem to think it does. You know, on that point I always laugh when I hear pagans described as godless. were very common in times past. Those dreadful, godless heathens. Oh, so evil. Yes. Well, considering the fact that many of them, well, they had numerous gods, dozens of them sometimes. I mean, there were gods all over the place. You couldn't have thrown a stone in any direction in ancient Greece or along the Nile without hitting a god of something or other. While the Abrahamic religions had, well, just one. Yes, from a mathematical point of view, they were far more godless than the other lot were. The pagans, of course, were the total opposite of the Abrahamic religions. They weren't bound by one belief in various forms. No, they followed a multitude of differing beliefs in many forms, worshipping actual divine entities, spirits of various kinds, like nature spirits that inhabited rocks or trees, or well, indeed pretty much everything, divine animals, and even part animal, part human deities, as in ancient Egypt. And being pagan didn't mean that you had to sacrifice goats or dance naked in sacred groves at midnight, however entertaining that might have been. Right. No, no, nor did you have to sit in a pentagram and summon demonic entities to do your bidding, though a lot of misinformed people do seem to think it did, and still does. Seeing pagans as something akin to the three witches from Shakespeare's Macbeth, with funny pointed hats and stirring a cauldron as they drop tail of newt, leg of frog, and eye of salamander into it while cackling maniacally. Popular belief and actual fact seldom go hand in hand, I'm afraid. But it is important to remember that at one time the whole world was pagan. Yes. Paganism in all its many forms is the world's oldest religion. It dates back to the cave, thousands of years before that Abraham chap came along. You could say that in its many forms, it was the religion of the entire world at one time. No other faith can claim to have been the all-embracing belief of the entire world. The three Abrahamic faiths, of course, all stem from a very precise location. They all had their origin in some part of the Middle East. Well, pagan beliefs, they just sort of popped up in every corner of the world. There is nowhere on earth, no country that did not have a pagan religion of some kind at some time, and many of them still do. India and Japan are examples of pagan countries, though a lot of people probably wouldn't even be aware of that. There are hundreds and hundreds of varieties of pagans, of course: Celtic, Wiccan, African, Slavic, Hellenic, Asiatic, Old Norse, and so on. Though some of them, even though they are still followed today, are really impossible to practice from a historical point of view. The Old Norse and the Druidic, for example, which I talk about on my Denton's Tales channel. Since, you see, we don't have any written records from those times telling us exactly what their ceremonies and practices were. So following them is much larger really a matter of guesswork, in comparison with still existing similar shamanic beliefs, which may or may not be what was actually done centuries ago. Now, many people will say, I practice the Old Norse religion. But no, dear, no, you don't, because, you can't, you see. Honor the old gods, yes, follow them. Oh, yes, you can do that. But we really have no idea what ceremonies, what incantations, what songs were used by the Old Norse themselves, or by the Druids. So we can't follow their religion as such, not as they did. We don't have the script, you could say. It would be like trying to perform Shakespeare's Hamlet if all you knew about it was that Hamlet's uncle killed his father. He was really pissed off about that. He has conversations with the skull. His girlfriend dies after going totally off her rocker, and then just about everybody else dies at the end. Well, you might get the same storyline, but it wouldn't be anything William Shakespeare would recognize. It might appear to outside observers that no two pagans think exactly the same way, given all the varying aspects of beliefs and practices, from some old, structured beliefs like Hinduism to, anything but anybody feels like believing, worshipping a tree spirit, the sun, or the earth itself, if you feel like it. Not one of which it can be said to truly represent paganism as a whole. Being so varied and multi-layered as it is, it cannot be represented by any one individual practice, or indeed even by a group of them. What was practiced, say, in Scandinavia, it didn't represent what was done in India or South America. Totally different, yet all being aspects of paganism. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. There will be more. Yes, let rejoicing commence. There will be more. Until that time, I shall say goodbye for now.
A delightful episode of Denton's Storytime.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my public. It's always so nice when other people agree with my own opinion.
I wish I could get that lucky with like you are then.
What?
Not everybody shares my opinions.
Oh, well, I mean, I try. I do. Yes, I try. I share a lot of your opinions. Yeah, I'm there.
Thank you once again, Denton, for giving us another great story time. We appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. It's fun to do, and there will be more. As I said, there will be more. Yes.
Let's hope so. Thanks, guys, everybody who's tuned in tonight with us as well. We're going to be rolling right into Rosie and a reading from Rosie. We've missed the last 2 or 3 weeks of being able to do it.
I don't think I've done one in about 3 or 4, maybe.
We've had a lot of guests come on and certain topics. But we're back doing it again. So this week we got another reading by Rosie, and after that we're going to play some Judas Priest, a video that I made called "The Serpent and the King." So enjoy, guys. Have a great night, and catch you guys next Wednesday. Rosie, it's all you, dear.
Okay.
Take it away.
So I want to start with just an astrology forecast. We are coming up on some pretty intense energy. We're about to have the other half of the completion cycle that was started from the eclipses that happened in October, this previous October. We're going to be having a lunar eclipse first in Libra and then a solar eclipse in Aries, I believe. And the cardinal signs are really going to feel this if you have cardinal energy or cardinal placements. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, you're really going to be experiencing some shifts. These could look like some advancements towards a path that you've been working on or something that you've been working really hard on, or this could end up even looking like a complete redirection from the path that you thought was right for you. But I really advise you to just trust and put your faith into the universe and know that the universe has you in its hands and it's redirecting you for a reason if this is what's going on in your life. We also have a Mercury retrograde coming up. I believe that we're about to enter the retrograde shadow period. So miscommunications, other things. And if I remember correctly, the Mercury retrograde begins around April 1st. So April Fools, don't take anything that anyone says too personally or seriously. Probably just miscommunication. As far as reading goes, I do have a pretty interesting reading. We are entering the beginning of a new cycle. So you can see here with completion, we have the completion of a cycle, the last puzzle piece fitting into place. Something that you've been working really hard on for a long time is finally coming together, and you need to have that faith. Again, with this emotional breakthrough, we have a crazy emotional breakthrough coming with this. This may be a breakthrough of the heart, a breakthrough of the soul. It may be a breakthrough in a job or a path that you're on. And you have to make sure to not let the clouds, the clouds in your mind suppress whatever these blessings are. These blessings are coming in very, very quickly, but you don't want to psych yourself out. I also had these 2 cards come out, which is really interesting because they almost represent 2 ends of the same rope. We have We Are the World and Isolation. So I believe that what this is telling us is to reach out to peers and to really reach out to your community. You can really gather support and gain support. This card is really interesting because you see this man is stuck in ice and he's stuck in his own ways, and his tears are actually rainbows. And this represents he's crying over an image, and he's crying over something that he thinks should be happening. And it is happening. He's just stuck in his own ways to accept it. So remember, reach out to your community, reach out to your peers, go out, have a cup of coffee with a girlfriend, but do not isolate yourself in this period. It's really important to reach out and get out there, maybe do a little bit of travel, etc. I also pulled a different card from this deck. It's called Sweet Doing Nothing, Time to Dance with the Flow. I really love this card, and I love the energy of this card and the way that it all flows together. It represents basically taking in the fruit of your labor and just accepting it. It's time to do nothing. It's time to rest and relax and allow the universe to work for you and bring you these opportunities that you've been already working so hard on. And you're allowed. Sorry, I glitched out there. You are allowed to rest and relax and just take in all of these blessings that are coming to you from your hard work. I will leave you with a mantra for this card. Again, sweet doing nothing, time to dance with the flow. And the mantra will be, I let go of stressful and worrying thoughts and connect with my inner source to develop the strength to take on new endeavors. Allow yourself to take on new endeavors. These will not come if you continue working yourself so hard. You have to rest and relax and allow them to come to you, and they will. Have that faith. One more time. I let go of stressful and worrying thoughts and connect with my inner source to develop the strength to take on new endeavors. That's Readings with Rosie, and I will see you guys next week.